Well, welcome to Facebook Live, Harmony Live at 8 a.m. We're discussing our book, Spiritual Rhythms for the Enneagram, and there it is. If you haven't picked it up yet, it is a handbook for harmony and transformation. And what we love about our book is that we take what is the classic Enneagram, the process Enneagram, and we give you your dominant type, which is one of 9 numbers. And then there are 3 equilateral triangles that connect 3 numbers that give you brilliant IQ and heartful EQ and great instincts of the GQ, the gut instinct. So you need all 3, IQ, EQ, and GQ. And today we're going to be talking about the 2. So 2s are dominant, we would say the loving, caregiving person that is really always there and always on for you. But without their IQ, the 5, which is the contemplative observer, they might just always help you and never take a break. And so they need their 5. And the 8, which is the decider, that the one that finally says, no, I have boundaries here. So 2, 5, 8, this wonderful equilateral triangle. Let's see if I can do it well. There you go. That looks about it. Yeah. And so there are 9 numbers around the circle. And then this triangle, the 2, 5, 8, is what we're going to talk to you about today with dominant style 2, the loving person. But the name of our chapter is Love Contemplates, Then Decides. Love 2 contemplates, 5, 8 decides.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but boy, I'm out of breath. Maybe I just am taking on the 2 this morning.
All right.
Just
out of breath? Yeah.
I don't know that I was helping anybody. I just think I was in a hurry. But yeah, so the 2, we all love 2s. They just, they're always caring for us, always bringing this compassionate caregiving. But in order for them to be centered, it's critical that they pull back at times, because they just, without boundaries, can just be helping, getting involved, just
I was hungry, you gave me to eat. Yeah. I was thirsty, you gave me to drink. So
what a great scriptural reference for a 2, because that just so resonates. And we all love that energy. Those folks that bring that, it's so attractive to all of us. But they have to be careful that they don't go too far, and they need to pull back, care for themselves. This is one of the types that they don't pay as much attention at times as they should, if they're not careful, to their own needs, and making sure that that's tended to, so that they're refreshed. So that's where the 5 comes in, where they can pull back and make sure that their own needs, their own personal kind of refreshment is tended to.
Yeah, and so even in that pulling back, so we talked about with the 1, there are 3 energies. The 2 is the move toward, to connect with you energy. The 5 is to move away and observe and conserve energy. And the 8 is to move against. The 8s can make strong decisions and take strong action in the world. And all 3 energies are needed. If we were to think about Henry Cloud's book, Boundaries, and those who end up in codependent relationships or don't draw any lines for themselves on how much they care, they give, they serve, then we would say that this 2, 5, 8 triangle, I think it's hard to tell. Anyway, they actually have all 3 energies that can help them live a whole and holy life, a harmonized life, and get into flow.
Yeah, because if they become overextended, then they can move toward, we have someone really close to us who's a magnificent 2, and actually a pretty centered and healthy 2. But there's times where he will jokingly say, I'm going to my bad 8, because he has not said no enough, has not tended to his own needs, and is like getting called in the middle of the night It's the kind of guy who get called in the middle of the night to help, and he'll help out. And then finally, we'll just out of frustration say, I'm going to my bad 8 because I'm frustrated and I'm moving against in a way that is not healthy.
Right. So what may be dismissed at that moment is the 5 energy, the ability to move away and conserve energy, the ability to step back, take a look, a pragmatic look at the world, do a little bit of research, like how much energy do I have as this caring, loving, giving too? Do I have the energy for this? Or am I going to end up, being manipulative or angry, going to both the bad side of the 2, or I don't want to say bad, but certainly the addicted side. So 2s, when they get addicted to the need to be needed, they actually get clingy, and they are overly helpful. Like they know what you need better than you do. So to move back to their brilliant intellect of the 5 and to say, how much loving is really needed here? Is this mine to do, right? Can keep them from going to that bad 8. When you look at the process Enneagram, classically, you'll hear that a healthy 2 will integrate toward the 4, and that's a wonderful gift that the 4 can bring to the 2. But what we would say is that makes a 2 two-hearted and no-headed, right? So if you look at the integration, and just check out if you're a person who hasn't been looking at the process Enneagram or the classic Enneagram, we would just say that there is this two-hearted energy when we're looking at the classic Enneagram model. But with the harmony model, we're giving every type access to all 3 centers. And for a 2 who is so given to serve and give, and then that beauty, that gift of that, 2, when it's taken to its own too much, it's a compulsive giving and going beyond your human limits and going beyond the limits of the person that you're giving yourself to. They may be needing you to pull back as well, and to say, okay, I've finished now. I think of that movie Failure to Launch with Owen Wilson, and the mother who's just giving, and it really needed someone to say, he's a big boy now.
Yeah,
right?
Terry Bradshaw tried to clear that up, but anyway.
Oh yeah, there's that part of it.
Yeah, twos, when they are in harmony, they so embody the scripture that's the golden thread of scripture, when Jesus said to love God with all of our heart, all of our strength or body, and all of our mind, and then also our soul. That when twos who exemplify love so clearly for us, when they are living in harmony, there's such a beautiful picture of loving themselves and then able to love others. And they just reflect the face of God so beautifully. So twos, we just so encourage you to move into harmony, to live into
you won't
your
lose
whole
yourself.
That's
You'll
right.
become more yourself, made in God's image, this divine image that looks like the heart of God. Remember that, yes, Jesus had the sacred heart of the 2 and moved with compassion, but then he would go away by himself and restore and renew and certainly flip some tables over in the temple too, like a good 8.
Yeah.
So that beautiful harmony.
That's right. So twos on this day, go love people as you love yourself, and just reflect that. And we're so grateful for the beloved twos in our midst.
Great day.